Now I just briefly want to touch on thermal regulation at the level of the body and the brain. And this will be very surprising to many of you. Let's do what's called a Gedanken experiment, which is a thought experiment. Let's say I send you out into the desert heat for a jog or a run, and it's very hot outside, 102 degrees or 103 degrees. And you start to move, you start to sweat, and of course your core body temperature goes up. Now, then I offer you a cold towel, maybe a really, really cold towel, and this towel is saturated with water, so you could actually squeeze the water out of that and cool your body off. And our Gedanken experiment is for me to say, okay, where are you going to place the towel? How are you going to cool yourself off? And I'm guessing that most of you would think that the best way to cool yourself off would be to drape that towel over your head, maybe your neck, over your torso, that it would feel really, really good and it would cool you off. Well, that's exactly the wrong approach if you want to cool off. And in fact, if you were to use that approach, your body temperature would continue to increase even more, yes, even more than had you not placed that cold towel on your head or your torso. And here is why. Thermal regulation, meaning your brain and body's ability to regulate your internal core temperature, is somewhat like a thermostat, and that thermostat resides in your brain. So if you think about the thermostat in your home or apartment, if it's too warm in your home or apartment, and you were to take a bag of ice and to put it on that thermostat, what would the thermostat do? It would register the environment as artificially cool, right? It would think that the environment was actually much colder than it is. And so as a consequence, it would trigger a mechanism to further increase the temperature in the room. And you have such a thermostat as well. It's called the medial preoptic area of the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is a small region of brain tissue about over the roof of your mouth and a little bit in front of that. So it's basically right behind your nose and over the roof of your mouth. And it's a collection of neurons. Those neurons have a lot of different functions that include things like the control of aggression, the control of sex behavior, the control of temperature regulation, and so on. The medial preoptic area has connections with the rest of the brain, or areas within the brain, I should say, and with many areas within the body. It receives input from receptors in our skin and inside our body that register temperature, and it acts as a thermostat. So if the surface of your body is made cool, your medial preoptic area will send signals by way of hormones and by way of chemicals that will serve to heat your body up. So what this means is that if you want to cool down, the last thing you want to do is to bring a cold surface of any kind, towel or splashing water, to the majority of your body surface. It might be very, very surprising to you. And you might say, wait, if I want to cool down, I should jump into a cold lake or something of that sort. That's a different thing altogether. What I'll tell you, and we'll get into this in more depth later, is that if you really want to cool down quickly and efficiently, you should leverage particular portals, meaning particular sites on your body where heat can leave your body more readily and where cooling can have a dramatic and fast impact on your core body temperature. It can even save your life if you're going hyperthermic.